All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Monday morning. May God bless you all in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. As right now, Bitcoin is testing a very key level, and we have a very, very important week ahead of us. Because last week, we had the CPI inflation data come out. Actually, pretty bullish. Inflation lower than expected. And this week, believe it or not, is the next FOMC press conference where Jerome Powell himself will be coming out the dang closet, telling us exactly what interest rates are going to be. And here's what's interesting. All right, inflation came out lower than predicted, and we are seeing right now a prediction of interest rates staying the same. All right, now I'm not saying anything here. I'm not making a prediction, because usually these things are pretty accurate, these predictions here. All right, baked into the cake, as they say. But if we see interest rates lower than expected, that could actually be bullish for Bitcoin. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at the chart, because Bitcoin is, as you can see, at a very key area, struggling to reclaim the top of the fair value zone at $107,000. And we've got some mixed signals printing on the chart. That's right, we've got some mixed signals printing on the chart. That's right, we've got some mixed signals printing on the chart. Bitcoin looking like this right now. All right, but things have been pretty crazy. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin go from this to this to this to this to this in just a few days. I mean, we've seen it run the gambit of how the charts have been looking. Got to give a major shout out to the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Not only did we get the short trade from the exact top in advance, which is still open right here, but we also gave the long trade from the bottom and the higher low at 103.5 given on June 11th. All right. And as you can see, we're bouncing right from that 103.5 area right here. Also got to give a major shout out to BLOFIN, which is currently offering 20% cash back everything you deposit. Oh my goodness! Plus up to a $500 future bonus, plus a chance to win all these prizes, plus discounted fees. Plus we got to give a shout out to ANTARCTIC Exchange, decentralized exchange, lowest fees in the world. Got to shout out MEXC and WEEX. If you guys are looking for a centralized exchange with low fees, MEXC and WEEX is definitely the way to go. Also got to give a shout out to the free trading course. 100% free on the internet with yours truly as the instructor. All right, Bitcoin must have been looking like this at the time that we made the course. But if you want to learn how to trade, become a confident, profitable trader, check out the course, free, on my YouTube channel. All right, let's see who we got in the chat today. As usual, guys, if we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 US dollars in Tether. Shout out to Jezebel. I have nothing to say about that. We're just going to be trading the charts. Shout out to the king of Bitcoin. Shout out to Thur Tiger. Shout out to JB Estrada. You've been here for what feels like an eternity. Okay, all right. Interesting. Shout out to who we got? Who else we got in here? Shout out to Brian Overholster. XRP trying to pump. Shout out to True Facts. Full effects of tariffs, lags, no instant effects. Takes time. Shout out to Walter. He says awesome week ahead. Shout out to Steady Bug. Shout out to Preparing for War, choppy price action. That is one thing for sure. As we have been in this range, it's been pretty choppy, which is why I have really not been trading very much. I've taken 3 trades within this range. One of them was a loss. I longed this, and obviously that was a loss. And then the other 2 trades you can see are open still. All right. Shout out to PMG George Lifer Banterson. Looks like a lower high. We'll talk about it. Shout out to Alex Wise. Cringe Chomsky backstage. You guys think the backstage is cringe? You guys think it's cringe? Man, that really does affect my self-esteem, because I pride myself in being the least cringy person in the world. All right? Least cringy person in the world. Guys, make sure to smash up the likes. We got 700 people in the house, 200 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Shout out to True Facts. Shout out to Duriani. 108 Bitcoin today when New York opens. Shout out to A Beer. Shout out to Void. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. Shout out to Getchy. What happened to my room? Guys, someone came in and instead of, believe it or not, okay, I know this is going to be hard to believe. Somebody actually came into my room and painted a picture of a garage on my green wall. I was pissed, bro. Somebody actually came in and painted a picture of a garage on top of my green wall. And they did a pretty good job. You can't even tell. Can you even tell that that's a picture paint in the back? Can you even tell? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to I Show You in the chat. Shout out to the Whiskey Reaper. Shout out to Ave Ojala. Today need to dump. Shout out to Cyrus Grayson. Good morning, brother. Hope you had a good Father's Day. Yeah, I kept forgetting it was Father's Day until people like randomly text me Happy Father's Day. I'm like, oh crap. I guess you too, you know? I always hate days like that. I hate Valentine's Day. I hate Father's Day. I hate Mother's Day. You know, the day you're supposed to, like, out of obligation, show appreciation. Like, hey, like, you're a father every day of the year. Or, hey, like, you're my wife every day of the year. But this one day that I'm obligated to tell you I love you. And it's not even legit because I'm obligated. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm obligated to say Happy Father's Day. I mean, congratulations. That one time you didn't pull out. Congrats, bro. This one day I'm going to set aside just to say congratulations. All right. Now, let's see. Let's pop into these charts here. These Bitcoin charts. All right. And let's paint a little picture about what's going on right now. That's true. The free course will not be free because it will cost time. This is absolutely true. The king of Bitcoin. Okay. Because, the course, and just being a trader in general, it is going to take time, guys. It takes time and hard work, but the information is free. All right. Yesterday was your birthday, Cyrus. That's cool. Okay. You're watching me from Tehran. Any second you could go boom. Well, I pray for everybody where there is conflict going on. And I pray that the Lord protects you and your family, Mond_I. And hopefully you don't go boom. All right. Hopefully and prayerfully that doesn't happen. All right. So the Bitcoin price right now, as you can see, we are consolidating within this little range here. And we have gotten a move happening today, this after daily open, up to right now the level of $107,100. Now let's just clear off all the noise here for a second and just take some time to appreciate how important this level is. This level has historically been considered overbought for Bitcoin. It's been considered Bitcoin at a price that's too high, too high, too high. It doesn't deserve to be that high. Now, what happened is we came above that level. We got a pullback below the level. We tried to pump. We got another pullback below the level. And now, currently, we are trying to reclaim the level with this daily candle. So, what does this mean? Well, in my opinion, this means that we have ourselves right here. This is just my opinion. A very distinct line in the sand for the Bitcoin price. All right, we're always looking for lines in the sand because when we are trading, we need to identify areas in which a certain bias becomes invalidated. That way we're not wasting money trying to trade an idea that clearly is not playing out. Right now, we have our zone between the previous range point of control, confluence with the Fibonacci 786, down to the current macro range value area high. This box right here is acting as major resistance. All right, very important resistance. Why is it so important? Because ever since we started to form this consolidation above our key level of $107,000, you can see our support was right here. We flipped it into resistance. Now it's resistance again. If we happen to get a move back up inside of that range, you can see the majority of the volume traded at around 109, which is also our 786. So we have three confluences right here in this box between 107 and 109. Let's see, the exact range is about a 1.6% zone, where if the price of Bitcoin this week cannot get above, we're actually going to start to see some scary things happening on the chart. Things that we don't want to see. All right, things that we don't want to see. Now, so far, I do have to say that I remain pretty neutral right now. I know I was extremely bullish last week. The reason why I have to remain neutral now is because the price action didn't do what I wanted to see it do for the week in order to remain bullish. And we are now back inside the middle of this entire range that we've been trading now, basically, since the beginning of May. And so the fact that we're in the middle of the range now means I have to be neutral. I have to be neutral here. We got a bounce from local support. We're getting a rejection kind of right now, consolidating around local resistance. And for me, these are not areas where I'm really looking to trade. I'm not looking to put my money on the line when we're in Chop City. I'm the kind of guy where I want to be looking for trades from the best levels possible, right? I want to be looking for trades from like the highest, shorts from the highest area possible and longs from the lowest area possible. And as long as we are below 107, I have to be neutral with a slight bearish bias, all right? Once we are holding above 107 to 109, then the bias then once again becomes bullish. Now you might say, Jay, you're just flip-flopping. I'm not, and here's why. I'm looking at this from more of a macro perspective, all right? Don't get stuck on the lower time frames here and chopped up. All right, when in doubt, zoom it on out. When we zoom it on out, we can see that since April, we have been in a very, very strong uptrend, right? Now, ever since April, if you have been following my channel, you guys know that I have been publicly bullish, calling for the move all the way up to new all-time highs. All right, you can go back and watch my videos from the end of April, where I was saying, look, the last time we confirmed this signal, we pumped up 100%, and we were calling for this big move to the upside, right? So ever since April, we're looking at the bullishness of this chart. So right now, I'm still trading this more macro idea of this big bullish move to the upside. But as we're consolidating here, I don't have time to waste wondering what's the Bitcoin price going to do when we're trading within a few percent zone. So we need confirmations, we need line in the sand levels where we can say, okay, now that the price action has done this, I can adjust my bias. Please be careful if you're trading lower time frames here, because it's easy to get chopped up unless you are in that mindset of scalping, okay? And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys right now. I am not in that mindset, all right? I have taken 7 trades in the last few months, okay? And that's it. I'm trading very relaxed, very slow pace. And unless you are in the mindset and you have the skill to be scalping or low time frame day trading, it's honestly best to just wait for those really good setups to come. That way you don't stress yourself out and waste money, right? So we've been in an uptrend since April. And when we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that we have in fact printed a very bullish continuation pattern, all right? Very bullish continuation pattern. We have come down to the trend line. Whoa. Almost dropped the whole computer. We have come down to the trend line, and we have seen market Cipher print a very bullish signal. Here's a hidden bullish divergence. Every single time we printed a hidden bullish divergence, which is this, a hidden bullish divergence, is as the price is making a higher low on a trend line, the oscillator is making a lower low. Every single time we printed one of these in this bull market, not only have we broken out of the range, but we've broken out with conviction and started to form a new range, right? That happened back here in September 2023. It happened back here in September 2024. And it happened over here in April 2025, all right? So we should still be expecting the real breakout and continuation of this range to the upside, which we have not seen yet. So we have a confirmed signal, which historically has given us a big break. We have not seen it yet. Now, something else that's bullish on these high time frames, remember, when in doubt, zoom out, is the monthly green dot that confirmed in May. When you have a monthly green dot that confirms, okay, there's a 90% chance, 90%, 9 out of 10 chance that the following month is going to give us another higher high. Or you can go back to the Bitcoin index chart, all-time index here, and just backtest for yourself the green dots that print on the monthly time frame. All right, except for this one that happened right before the COVID crash, every single time the green dot gives us a higher high in the following month. Even if that higher high ends up being the top, for example, at the top of the last bull market, we got a confirmed green dot here in October. Now in November, that was the top, right? But it was the top after a 14% move to the upside, right? We still made a higher high in November, even though November was the top. So right now we do have these high time frames on our side here. We have the monthly on our side. We have the weekly on our side. And then we come down to these lower time frames. And this is where things really do start to get a little ambiguous here because, you know, with this whole dump that we saw on Thursday, we printed a red dot on our 2-day time frame. And if you remember, the 2-day for me was one of the things that was keeping me extremely bullish. Why am I so bullish about this 2-day time frame? It's because when you see the money flow crossing on the 2-day time frame like this, that is very bullish. When was the last time we saw that? Oh, back here in October 2024, the same place we saw the hidden weekly bullish divergence. So we saw a weekly hidden bullish divergence. Also, we saw the 2-day money flow cross at the same time, which led to a major range breakout, right? Time before that, where were we? Oh, what do you know? Back here, October 2023, the same place we saw a hidden weekly bullish divergence. We saw a 2-day money flow cross, and what happened? Oh, we broke out of the range, and with major conviction. So we're seeing this again, and so this is where we can say to ourselves, okay, the high time frames are definitely pointing to more upside is probable based on the historical data. Based on the data we have, the signals that are currently printing and confirming point to more upside in June, all right? So with this bias, right, we can then say, okay, what needs to happen for us to get really super certain that these things are going to happen? Well, we need to really hold above 107. Because 107, that's our line in the sand. If the price cannot hold above 107, the market is showing us that, yeah, the market's still considering this expensive Bitcoin, and we could see a correction as we head into the summertime, all right? So the longer we stay consolidating here, the less of a chance there is for a real breakout. And we could see a bearish summer, all right? The reason why I say we could see a bearish summer is because historically, we see the summers being really bearish. All right, 2023, sideways and down all summer, pump in the fall. 2024, sideways and down all summer, pump in the fall. 2025, are we going to see sideways and down all summer and then pump in the fall? It's very possible. It's very possible. And it's something that we need to be prepared for. All right. Now, here's one thing we don't want to see, and that's this. The weekly time frame, red dot, confirmed. We do not want to see this. Why? Well, the last time we saw a confirmed weekly red dot on market Cipher B, where the price has made a higher high, and the momentum and the money flow are getting lower, that was actually just the top of the bull market. All right. So we definitely don't want to see that, and we can see that the weekly right now is struggling. And if I'm not mistaken, we did see, when the candle opened up last night, a red dot appear on the chart. All right, so we're flirting with that red dot here. We definitely don't want to see it, okay? So let's talk about a few scenarios to be looking for right now as far as trades go, because I do believe that we could see more consolidation here before a bigger move, because Bitcoin loves to do that, right? Bitcoin loves to consolidate for longer than we want. I mean, look at this, right? Consolidation basically for 100 days here, okay, within the macro range. Then we get consolidation for 55, 60 days here before the big break. And so far, we've only been consolidating here for about 40 days. Okay, so Bitcoin loves to consolidate. If we continue to consolidate here, and if we continue to get a move down, let's say, where are we now going to be looking for the next bounce? Well, for me, the most important level on the chart is going to have to be the high volume node of this range. It's going to be like $97,000. All right, right around this area. This is a very important high volume node. It's a support resistance flip, and even if we come down here, this is still like trading within the range. All right, so let's say we start to see things really bearish. As somebody who's trading, not really day trading or scalping, but high time frame stuff, I definitely would be interested in looking for a long trade, something like this. All right, and yes, of course, our target would have to be a new all-time high, because this is a very strong uptrend locally. And if we happen to get a move down to this area, right? It's our daily time frame. We can see that the direction of market Cipher B, as far as the money flow goes, is very bullish. And we could also see that if, let's say this week or so, we get a move down to this area, we could see that the daily market Cipher B could be giving us the coveted uneven butt cheek pattern. All right, this is known medically as a bullish divergence, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the most prestigious medical journals in the world. But if we go ahead and we take this picture of these uneven gluteus maximi and we just impose them onto the chart, there's nothing better than imposed butt cheeks, right? We can see it lines up perfectly. All right, you got that big juicy cheek on the left, that cheek on the right, very skinny, like that waitress at the diner with the Brooklyn accent, smoking cigarettes inside like it's 1985 over here. All right, but look, when the price is coming down to the point of control, notice over here, you got the volume profile, point of control, where most of the buying and selling has taken place over time. We got it right over here, the point of control. Now, we don't know for certain if this point of control is going to hold or not. It all depends. It all depends on what we see on the charts when we come down to the area. What we want to see is this, all right? If this waitress ain't at the diner, we don't want to take a trade, all right? But if she is, then we take a trade, and then we get out of there. We dine and dash, all right? We dine and dash. Trading and driving. That's the best way to do it. All right, so that'd be the next place I'd be looking for a trade locally. Now, if we end up with a very bearish summer, sideways and down, then what? Well, I'll be honest. If we end up with a very bearish summer, sideways and down, it would not surprise me if we end up coming down to the low 70s again. Now, I know people hate this. People hate when I talk about it, whatever. Look, we're traders. We're here to make money in the market. We don't care if it goes up or it goes down, right? As hodlers, we care. As traders, we really don't care. Look at what happened every single other bearish and down summer. Okay? We took the low. Let's go to our Bitget chart here, because Bitget's all that really matters. Let's be honest. We took the low. All right, let's clear off all our drawings here. Sideways and down summer, we actually took that low of the range before pumping in the fall. 2024, sideways and down summer, we actually took the low of that range before pumping. All right, so here we are, 2025. Again, if the bearish and down summer pattern is going to continue, it actually does make the most sense. We just take that low and then pump. We took the high. Now we're going to take the low. Bitcoin loves to do that. 2023, we took the high. All right, we took the high. We took the low. Pump. All right. Bitcoin loves to take the high and loves to take the low. That's just what Bitcoin does. Look at this over here. Had a little high. Bitcoin took the high. We had a little low. Bitcoin took the low. Then we pump, right? Bitcoin loves to do that. So we're watching ourselves. We're thinking all these things in the back of our mind to come up with our next plan. Right now, my next plan is really to look for a long trade in the event that we drop down to around that $96,000, $97,000 zone, which is going to be a very important level. If not held, then we need to be aware of just the low of the range here in the high 80s. And then we do need to be aware of coming down below our low. All right, as a high time frame trader, the only three levels I really care about right now, as far as longs, is like 96, 97, and then the high 80s, and then the low, right? This clears out all the noise. All right, clears out all the noise. We just have our key levels on the chart, and we just sit there at the diner, drinking our coffee, waiting for the waitress to come to our table. And we've been streaming now for half an hour. And as I did say, if we can get 1,000 likes within the first 30 minutes, well, we'll give away $1,000. So let's go ahead and check how many likes we have. 300. Guys, 300? Come on, man. Oh man, that hurts my self-esteem. Even worse than calling me cringe. Okay, so these are the major 3 levels I'd be looking at right now. And again, just based on this week, you can see how important this level is, 107, guys. This is super important. Now, typically Mondays, we can't trust. All right, we usually can't trust moves that happen on a Monday after the weekend, right? We typically do take back that weekend action. So let's see something. I am curious. We're going to go to the CME chart and see if we had a gap. No, we have no gaps. We have no gaps. We did fill that CME gap, though, from the beginning of June. But we don't have a gap this weekend here. Yeah. So 107 on Bybit, the exact level is 107, 167. Go ahead and mark that on your chart, because that's going to be very, very important. Something else, guys, we can just see, based on the candles here, that if we're going to reject from here and make a lower high, and like if this is our lower high, what I mean to say is this, right? We have our high, we have our low, we have our lower high. Now we're looking to make a lower low. And this is one leg that has a few retracements in it, right? There is no support here, okay? We would just get vacuum sucked down to our $97,000 POC, all right? We would get vacuum sucked down if we reject from here this week. All right, so we will wait and see. New York's going to open in less than an hour right now. In about 50 minutes, 5-0, we're going to see New York open. Now, Ethereum, guys, I will say this. Like I said, I'm very neutral right now on Bitcoin. I'm very neutral. We are in the middle of a range. I am not really interested in taking any trades within this chop city. I'm not, all right? If I was in a different mindset, like I was back in like the winter of 2023, winter of 2024, where I was literally scalping the 5-second time frame, literally taking dozens and dozens of trades a day, you know, different story. But I'm not in that mindset right now. All right. And so, look, ETH, I'm very neutral. If we cannot reclaim $2,700, that is bad. We tried multiple times, unable to do it. The thing that looks really good right now about ETH is the same as for Bitcoin. The 2-day money flow crossing, the daily. Look at the daily money flow right now on ETH, and look at this yellow oscillator here on ETH. This actually looks really bullish to me. This actually looks really, really bullish to me. This makes me want to, all right, hear me out. This makes me want to look for a nice long trade this week on Bitcoin and ETH, all right? And I do have to say this. Right now, as I look at the ETH chart, I see something that makes me happy inside, which is this. We have this trend line here, okay? And as we're consolidating on the trend line, we're seeing the money flow get thicker. It's getting thicker and thicker, okay? The money flow is getting thicker and thicker. Also, we see the yellow oscillator pointing to the upside now, okay? What does this mean? This means we are printing what many people call ascending triangle. Okay, bullish pattern, big flagpole to the upside, consolidate in the flag every time you make higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, and then boom, we break out to the upside. Okay, now what happened last week is this. We have the VIX, then we get big liquidity grab to stop hunt all the short trades. They all get wrecked, big pump, then we come back down into the triangle. Now imagine we do the opposite now. We come down, we wreck all the long trades, wreck them, all the stop losses get hit. Okay, we hunt the stops. We're out in the wild with our weapons of warfare. to hunt the stop losses. We have our bows and our arrows. We take it, we go boom, and we shoot it, and we bring home the meat to eat it. Okay? And we come and we take out all the longs. This would be extremely bullish divergence here with our money flow on the daily if we did that. All right? 4-hour time frame. Man! We would have the juiciest uneven butt cheeks. Dolores would be at the diner with her twin. All right? It would be looking nice. All right? Like these strawberries, guys, in the garden. All right? They're not ripe yet. This is what the money flow looks like on ETH. All right? It's not ripe yet. It's not red yet. All right? Still green. Still green. All right? But if we see the right things happen, man, that could actually be something. Just looking at this as a sideways range in and of itself. Maybe on a Wednesday. I mean, remember. Now, follow me here. Is this Wednesday? Why are we talking like this again? Jason, what is wrong with you? You deserve a slap on the face. You not even have 25 trading monitors. You're here in a garage. You think people are going to take you serious? You think people are going to take you serious, Jason? What are you doing? On the treadmill? Come on! You stupid idiot, get another slap! We still have the FOMC this Wednesday. Again, if this comes out bullish, man, lower than expected, just like inflation did, all right, we could actually see that thing set up on ETH. Now, remember here, I'm looking for this scenario because if we come down and we get all the stop hunts, right, but then we don't see a move back up above, for me, there's no trade there. The way I would trade it, I would have to wait until the price is back up here, and then I have myself a setup, right? Because we see the fake out, we see the reclaim, then we know where our stop loss goes, and then we can shoot for our take profit 1 at the POC of the range, a 40% pump, right? And then our TP2 at 4,000. If we don't see this happen, the loss and the reclaim, we can easily see that there's no support. Okay, there's no support. Just like my green screen back there. There's no support. No support. Somebody, I mean, guys, okay, so here's the story. I usually stream with the green screen behind me. Somebody came to my house at night, painted a mural of a garage on my green wall. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, what the heck? I don't have time to paint this green before the stream. All right? Jason is Chinese, just like Uncle Roger. Well, here's the thing. Was that accent a little Chinese? It's hard to tell. My accents, they go in and out. But you know where I get the Chinese accent from? It's from my man Boyan. All right? Boyan is actually a 9-year-old Chinese weightlifter who also likes to eat pizza, all right? Here's a picture of Boyan. It's a rare picture. This is Boyan, one of the instructors in the Casper crew, all right? He loves to drink coffee. He loves to eat strange pizza. He's totally jacked. Dude's a bodybuilder, all right? 90-year-old Asian man, Chinese man, should I say. All right, this is a rare picture of Boyan. You're not going to find this anywhere else. So make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell. So yeah, this is a really nice idea that I have for ETH. And I think, all right, if we see Bitcoin, let's just say, this week also getting very bearish move, and ETH, like, here's the thing, Bitcoin's had much more volatility than ETH here, in general. So we start taking this low. I'm going to be interested in looking for that bounce from Bitcoin at this area, and I'd be interested in looking for a bounce on Ethereum from this area. All right, it's pretty nice in my opinion. It sounds like a Uganda Air Force. That's what my accent sounds like. CBD is very low. Yeah, let's take a look at the order flow, because I was actually looking at this too before the stream. We are seeing a little bit of bullish CBD forming here, guys, from yesterday. And again, this is the weekend, right? So we can't really get too excited about this. But we are seeing some bullish CBD here as we hold above the VWAP, right? As we hold above VWAP here. Let's refresh. yeah, as we hold above VWAP here, we are seeing some bullish CVD. So New York could give us a pump today. But remember, even if New York gives us a pump today, our major resistance right now is this. So I'm not saying, like, this is why I'm not interested in trading right now. Because if we do get an opportunity to long, first of all, we've already had our pump, all right, into resistance. And then we're literally coming to a box of resistance, all right, between 107 and 109. So I'm not too interested in longs. If someone put a gun to my head right here, I'd have to say short. But I'm not super interested in taking a short from here before New York opens after a weekend. I'm just not, right? I'm not. We're already short in the Casper crew. You know, this setup was given in advance. Myself and Boyan gave it. We gave this level, all right? I'm not interested in this middle of the range area here, all right? We have ourselves about half an hour till New York. And please remember, guys, I do have a feeling in my gut, all right? And I trust my gut. I trust my gut because I eat a very clean diet, all right? A very, very clean diet, high in fiber and protein and polyphenols, monounsaturated fats, all these kinds of things. I trust my gut. My gut says this Wednesday is going to be very important. And if this is lower than 4.5%, that's gonna be intense, man. That's gonna be crazy. I think that's gonna be bullish, and I think it's gonna allow us to maybe look for some of these longs that we've been looking for. Look for some of the longs that we've been looking for from down below the range. Well, we've got to give a major shout out to everyone in the chat. Emotional damage. I know what you're talking about, but I can't do that. Shout out to Investment Time. Shout out to D. Fran. FOMC is tomorrow or today? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. That's Wednesday. Yeah, it might be hard to see, but this is Monday. There's nothing today. Tuesday, nothing really. Wednesday, June 18th. That is 10 days before my 11th wedding anniversary. And it's the FOMC funds rate decision and press conference. I'm going to try to be live for it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best because I love to stream for those. All right. And pretty much a Bitcoin underneath. These are the main ones. You know, we're looking at Cardano as well. And these things are just going to follow. They're going to follow Ethereum and Bitcoin. All right. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat. Guys, drop into the chat. Say what's up. Let me hear what you guys have to say in the chat. Do we see a rate cut? Look, maybe. Maybe we do, and if we do, I think that could be quite bullish. Shout out to Lightbot. Shout out to HFG. Shout out to Sergeant Squid. What's going on, my man? Or you could just buy low and sell high. I heard somewhere it works. Yeah, I mean, if you're a high time frame trader, buying low and selling high definitely does work. All right. And that's why I'm really not interested in trading literally the exact middle of the range. You know, this is such an interesting level because this is the value area high of the macro range going all the way back to November 2024. But it's also literally the major halfway point of this local range. So if you're looking for a trade at this area, the only conceivable trade I could see here is a short because it is resistance. But again, because I'm already short from here, I'm just not interested in taking a trade literally in the exact middle of the range because we could just as easily flip this thing into support here, and then boom, right? It's kind of like fair value. It's kind of like fair value. All right, short setup given in advance, long setup given in advance, even the higher low, which I didn't take from 103 given in advance. Guys, make sure to check out BLOFIN for 20% cash back discounted fees. Make sure to check out ANTARCTIC Exchange for the lowest fees in the game. And make sure to check out MEXC and WEEX as well. If you want to trade, that's where it's at. And also, if you want to join the community, jasoncaspertrading.com, best trading community in the world. Also, don't forget to check out the free trading course, guys. Do you want to learn how to trade like this? Everything I say sounds like gibberish to you? What is this? A POC and a VAH and a higher low and a smart money, fair value gap? Change a character, BOS. Throwing in some smart money concepts, keywords for the algos. You know YouTube loves to promote that smart money inner circle stuff. So I'm gonna just sprinkle some words in there, you know, a little ICT. Look, check it out, free course on my website, on my YouTube channel, under playlists. You can see right here, your instructor definitely knows what he's talking about. All right, definitely knows what he's talking about. Dude is just so strung out on coffee, man. Thinks it's still the 80s, all right? You know why? He's trying to impress Dolores at the diner. She's all about the 80s as well, you know? She's all about the 80s as well. And let's see who else we have in the chat. Crypto Neem. Shout out to you, Crypto Neem. Yeah, dude is a pure gambler. Yeah, for sure this guy is a pure gambler, man. Alright. Order block is king. Order blocks are nice. Alright. Shout out to Nathan Katar. And shout out to Captain Happy. Shout out to Global Sacrifice. Looking like Brett Michaels, LOL. Did you know the etymology of Bethlehem means house of bread? Ken. Aniodea. Yes, I know that debate. Lechem means house of bread. Alright, comes from bait, meaning house, and lechem, meaning bread. But bait becomes bait when it's in a construct form. So you get bait lechem. Bait lechem. Like bait, like fishing bait. Lechem, meaning some bread. Alright, good old bread. I forgot to pee. No, I didn't. I didn't forget to pee. Shout out to OG Blockchain. Shout out to Batty. Thoughts on Bitcoin dominance? How higher is it going to go? When I look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, when I look at the dominance chart, I feel like it can go a little bit higher. I feel like it can go a little. I feel like it's setting up for one last pump and then a dump. K. Raj Kumar says, "My question, sir. I don't see it, bro. I'm so sorry. Maybe ask it again and it'll." Oh yeah. Okay. Here I see it. Some time green and red dot both print on higher time frame. Then how to solve the bias? Well, if we get red dots printing on the higher time frames, I become much more bearish. All right, bearish. Bait is house in Arabic. Yeah, Hebrew and Arabic have lots of cognate words. Lots of cognate words. All right, like spirit in Hebrew is ruach, but in Arabic is ruch. Right? They're both Semitic languages, so they have a lot of cognate words. I mean, even in Hebrew, shalom, salam, you know, peace, they're very similar. Very, very similar. In fact, sometimes, because I do want to learn Arabic, I would love to learn Arabic at some point in my life, but I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. I'll be honest with you. It's tough. I don't even know how to read English cursive. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to read English cursive. And so, I don't know. It's tough. But sometimes I listen to the audio Bible in Arabic to see if I can pick up on the words, because I know it very well in the Hebrew, and I can pick up on a lot of those words. Come to Dubai? Man, I'll be honest, I don't think I'm ever going to go to Dubai. Ken, Ani Yodea Ivrit. Yes. I mean, a little bit, right? You could probably tell I speak it like a guy who knows English trying to speak Hebrew. Shalom achi, ma shlomcha. Ken, Ani Yodea Ivrit. Alright, just like the way I speak Spanish. Hola, amigo. Como estás? Muy bien, gracias. Y tú. But yeah, man. Mostly ani kore Ivrit. I read Hebrew, mostly biblical Hebrew. I've dabbled in the modern, alright? All right. You live in Dubai. Yeah, I have no desire to go to Dubai. I have no desire to travel to a city, honestly. I have no desire to travel to a city. I'm a country boy, man. I'm out here in the dang country, growing my strawberries and my squash and my potatoes and my farm out here, trying to grow my own food and raise my own animals, man. I'm not trying to go to the city. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to live off grid. You know? See, Itai, for example, you say Kol HaKavod Achi, but like, I don't know what that would mean in modern Hebrew. Because if I were to read that, it seems like it says all the glory, bro. All the glory, bro. But I'm sure that's a saying in modern Hebrew that means something different, right? Like in English. That's sick, bro. Is there any stream today in the Casper crew? Yeah. In fact, I gotta do that right now. So look, God bless you guys in Jesus' name. I do pray y'all are super blessed. May the Lord bless you. May He bless your families. And I will see you guys next time. Peace!